We're here at Insect Adventure talking with Dr. Andrine Shufran, and of course the day I come to talk to you about the drought and how it's affecting insects, it's raining.
Yay! It's raining!
We are so happy about the rain.
Definitely.
But even though it's raining and we're getting quite a bit of it, that still doesn't alleviate some of the concern that maybe the drought has had on our insect population.
Yeah, there's a lot of effect. Small microclimates, anything in the environment is affecting insects extremely a lot.
Okay.
It can be temperature, it can be humidity, the rainfall, how long a heat or a cold season lasts.
Right.
All of these have an effect on different species. And it's hard to tell a lot of times if what we're seeing in the environment is just something that's a new environmental change this year, or if we're really losing insect species that we're not seeing every year.
Okay. So it's really hard to pinpoint it on the drought per se because there's just so many factors that could be playing into it. But let's say drought, how would that influence, I know a lot of insects live in the ground. Can the hard soil maybe affect that? Or what are some of the ways that it could potentially inhibit some of the insects?
So there are tons and tons of arthropods that live in the soil, and that may be their stage of life where they're larvae and they're busy feeding and doing things, not when they're adults. And so if they're underground busy feeding and the top surface of the ground becomes hardpan, they can't penetrate up to become adults. That could be true for bumblebees, which live in the ground, or the crane flies, which will also live in the ground for several years before they come out. And too much rain is a problem too.
And then we see the worms coming out,
and
right?
then you see all the worms come out on the street and die. Yeah, but all of these different species interact with each other. They interact with the temperature, they interact with the soil, all of these different things. As an extension specialist, we get a lot of calls during a drought time about insects that are in their homes, in people's homes, that they've never seen before. Oh my goodness, I have scorpions in my house. I've never had scorpions. Oh my goodness, I have black widows. I've never seen black widows. Where did all these roly-polies come from? And all of those animals need the same thing we need: food, water, and shelter. And in a drought, there's none of that. And so they're going to come inside your home a lot of times, and you'll see them for the first time. Then if you get some rain, a lot of times their populations will explode. And so the drought caused a greater number of them to come out at a single time than when they may have just come out a little bit. They all come out together and kind of seem to take over the world for a while.
So if we've had this drought and it can be detrimental, they need water, right? Obviously. Does that cause them to die? Are we going to reduce some of our bad insect populations potentially?
Can the ticks not stand the heat?
Right.
Can the mosquitoes, there's no water.
Exactly.
So insects, again, they live in a microclimate, and they don't hibernate like we think of hibernation, where your body shuts off and doesn't come back for a while. They're able to turn their metabolism on and off for a lot of different reasons, whether it's for reproduction times, or they're waiting for a certain temperature, or it gets really dry. Insects are able to shut down their metabolism. It's called diapause. And then when they find that the situation looks good again, they're able to come back to life and move around and eat and attach themselves to your pants and suck your blood. And that's why you see mosquitoes in the winter.
I was going to say, so I've seen mosquitoes really early already before we got this nice heavy rain.
Yeah.
Does this mean that now maybe they're going to really come out together and find each other and our population's going to explode, unfortunately?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So mosquitoes can breed in a very small amount of water. And that's why we often encourage people that if they have outdoor plants or tires or whatever, that they're turning those on a regular basis, because even something the size of like a cup of water can breed hundreds of mosquitoes because each female is laying 200 to 250 eggs at one time. And so, yeah, it's very important.
Okay.
They're all going to be coming out all year long. And so wear your bug spray.
Well, and this is why the insects are so successful, right?
Right. There's a billion more of them than there are of us.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.